AuntDi here. And before I get going and forget to ask you, please click the red button below, the one that says subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. And also give us a thumbs up. I'd also be quite honored if you would. Anyways, I just get, oh my. Huh. Anyways, I guess I should have used a mirror. I wanted to make my grandson's birth stat onesie that I'm going to be putting into a shadow box, and I thought, hey, might as well do a video just in case any of you out there would like to see how I go about doing my HTV, which means, for those that don't know, heat transfer vinyl. So I designed a stat that I like. I will walk you through quickly on a few things I had to do in Design Space, including attaching. I did do this design in PicMonkey and I brought it over. And then we go ahead and we will cut it out, and I will set things up out here, and I'll show you how I apply it. Tongue work. Anyways, I don't own a heat press, so I just use a regular old everyday household iron. I do have an ironing board, believe it or not, but it's down the basement and I don't feel like going to get it, so I'm just going to be putting a towel on my island, and that's all we need to do. So please subscribe with the red button below and give me a thumbs up and enjoy the video. Take care. Happy crafting.
So here I am in Design Space. I would have uploaded my image, which I will find here. I've already done all this, but just to show you. So it loaded up, and yeah, it came out massively big, but this is what it was. I will just bring it down here, just a fair amount. So it is a birth stat that I designed for my grandson. Now I've already gone through changing it to the colors I want it, so it's going to be in my projects. Now this is cool how they've set this up, because now it gives you information. If I had done the fonts and everything in Design Space, it would have all that information here, which is really cool. So I'm just going to replace what I already have on my mat. Which of course is going to take a few minutes because the size of the project. There it goes. It just needed to finish loading up there. So I am going, so as you can see, I've got all the different colors I want. I am going to be putting this on a onesie so that I can frame it in a shadow box. A good way of doing this is, obviously you need to measure your onesie. You also could go into templates. I just pick fashion and scroll down, and there you go, pajamas. They can't call them onesies because onesies is a trademark. So once it loads, you can change it to a short sleeve, long sleeve, or a romper. Well, this is, I think, a short sleeve what I have. Doesn't really matter. You can do 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I do have newborn in that, but I'm going to stay with 3 months. And then you just, oops, undo. I didn't realize that it wasn't already all grouped. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to group it. Because I want to be able to move it around here and resize it. Because I want to maximize the size of my onesie for the information. At the same time, I don't want it to look so out of proportion that it's a bit funky. So hopefully that's going to work. I think it should. So I am going to be using HTV, heat transferred vinyl. So to be honest, this needs to be flipped or mirrored. Whichever you feel the best to do. You can flip it up here. And it's done. You don't have to worry about it now. Or you can wait until you get into Make It. You would click your Make It. And once it loads, right now I'm not set up, so don't worry. It gives you the option here to mirror your image. But first of all, I don't have everything set up the way it needs to be. I just wanted to quickly show you that. And I don't want this to be mirrored or flipped. So I'll just quickly undo that. There we go. Perfect. Now, what I need to do is ungroup everything. I need to attach liked colors so that when it cuts out for me on my mat, it's going to cut out exactly laid out like this. So it's very simple for me to put it together. So let's bring this in a little bit. Now remember, you've ungrouped, so try not to move anything. My hearts, I only want to be touching my hearts with this Bluetooth bar. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click Attached. If I was to attach everything, because you'll probably think, well, why don't you just select all and attach? Then it's all going to go back to just one layer, one color. And I want this in separate colors. So to do the blue, I'm going to click on the top blue. Then I'm going to hold down my control button, move my cursor to the next blue, and click. I've got blue for the bird. I do the same thing. This has got to be blue, but it's not clicked yet. Everything that is blue that you want to have included, you need to use your control and then click. And then once you get all that done, click Attached. See what happened? My stars turned to that color. That's because they were already grouped together. and I need to ungroup them. Everything needs to be ungrouped in order to do this. So let's try this again. Click on that because the dark blue, don't click on the light blue because now it's 2 layers. Control, click everywhere that there is blue that you want. Keep putting up my wheel. That you want included in this layer. Now click attached. I keep clicking, wanting to use my wheel on my mouse, and it's just changing the size. Sorry about that. So now we got to do the black. Okay, now sometimes the best way to do the next colors is to just close the eye at the attached for all those colors. It just gets them out of your way. Because if you want it to, just a quick way of doing this, let's just make sure it's not going to catch the heart, yeah, is just to let's bring this out. There we go. Is just to Control Alt or Control scroll everything into a box and click, which you don't want. Okay. So I am just going to attach all these. Everything's in there that I want, and I'm going to click attach. And I've done the hearts, and now I'm going to just do the stars because they are, nope, don't need to, they're already attached. Now I need to open things back up. So just go up to the top of the blue at the attach there. And everything else that's blue, all the blue will open up. When you get it, all that is. I pushed the wrong attach. There's a lot of blue. There it is. And I see what those little blue ones were. They need to be attached to that too, because that's the center of my letters. So where were they? Gotcha. So open them up. Probably the best way of doing this is going to be to get rid of my black just so it's out of my way. I don't want to grab any of it by mistake, so I'll just click on the eye. And I'm just going to do, oops. Actually, and then I'm going to get rid of, it's an even easier way of doing it, close the eyes of the hearts and make sure all your flourishes are closed too. So you might have to go back up to find them. No, they went and double cut it. They messed up on me. What happened there? I don't want that mess. So I'm going to detach all this so I can figure this out. I want that light blue so I can see it. Okay. Just sort of some reason it flipped. Okay, so now you're going to want to find the light blue and just close it down too. Not the dark blue, the light blue. What am I doing? Just seen you. There you are. Now that everything, okay, now that everything's closed down except for the blue, select all, attach. There. Make sure it's to the back. And go to the top and start ungroup or clicking the eyeballs on everything, because if you don't, it's not going to show up on your mat. So if you'd like it on your mat, make sure you unattach. Oops, no, we don't want that. Everything has open eyes. Perfect. That is looking like a great size. Love it. Remember, you need to either click everything and flip it all here, or just wait now until we go into Make It. So we'll click the Make It, and you'll notice the difference now between what the mat looked like when it first opened to what the mat looks like now. Everything is organized exactly where I'm going to want it, obviously. So all I got to do is line it up and it will work. Now remember to click your mirror button. All you got to do is do it for one of them, and nope, do it for all of them. Go through and make sure you do it for all of them right away, so you don't forget. And even though it looked the same, I still mirrored them. Now we're going to click continue. Keep our fingers crossed that it recognizes my machine without issues. The other day it took me 2 days to get it to work. Perfect. For the material, this is iron-on. I just use, because there's no just plain iron-on. Well, you got your sports fleck iron-on. I just use a neon iron-on is what I tell them. It tells me to make sure my mirror is turned on and to place shiny side down on mat. Perfect. My pressure is at default. It tells me what tools to load my mat, to press go or the arrows, and we're off to the races. once this is cut, we will iron it onto the onesie. Back in a few.
Okay, so I have everything set up. This is the design all cut out and sort of laid out the way I want it. It has got 3 different layers. There's my onesie. So I need to break these layers down a bit because, well, I don't need them all. And I've noticed that I have a bit too much of a gap here, so I'm also going to trim this off. So now it's going to become 4 pieces instead of just 3. Okay. So, you got to figure out how this is going to be so that it is positioned properly. So, I will play around with it for a moment here. I think it's going to be like something like that. I'm going to start with this piece here. Try to center it as much as I can. And the only thing I need to do is parchment paper. You have to make sure it's parchment paper because wax paper will melt. With as little effort as possible. I don't like to be fussing around with stuff too much. I don't preheat my garments, nothing. I just take my iron and press. I don't put it on the floor and step on it. I don't know. I've heard some pretty strange things that people do to get this to go on. You just put it down. That's all. And it takes no time. That's actually done, that one. Believe it or not. You just let it cool because it's best to remove when they're cool. Let it cool down just a little bit more because that's still pretty hot. Once it's cool enough, just carefully peel it back. And once it's peeled back, we can go on to the next one. So there's that one. My next layer, I think I'm going to do this one, my next layer. And just make sure it lines up with what's going to be put on top. I think that position should work. So once again, you just put your parchment paper down and start pressing. Try not to slide the iron around until everything has been heated because you don't want to cause the decal to shift any. So as you see, I'm lifting and pressing. Then I can safely move it around a bit as I press. Just make sure it's down. Check. And see. No, it needs a little bit longer. Move my iron out of the way. Move my paper. Let it cool. And then check it again. I think we got it this time. It just needs to cool. So I'll let it give it a second to cool and I'll be back. Okay, so I've already removed it. I'm just giving it another press down like I always do with just the wax paper. I've noticed that one of my pieces slid, so I will have to pick that off later, but that's fine. I can get rid of it. I'm not worried about it. So let's go on to another piece. And let's remove that because I don't want to have another mistake that I have to fix. Let's do the next layer. Just hold and press and move it around a little bit by lifting it, remember. You don't want to slide it around, because if you do, you could cause it to move and shift, and then nothing will be where you want it to be. So your best bet is to lift and push down. And then I can give it a slide. Once again, we're going to let it cool for a moment, and then we'll check it. Peel it off. Well, I don't have much patience to wait. Well, that's just me. Not a patient person. Like I said, things have to work quick for me to do it. There's a lot of fussing around. I'm not going to fuss around with it. Oh, the bottom star needs to be put back up. Didn't get enough heat down here. That's my grandson, a cute hero. He's starting to wake up. He's got the hiccups right now. Okay. And there he goes. It's time for lunch. No, that needs to stay on just a little bit longer. You're fine. Everyone's trying to be really quiet because I'm in the kitchen doing this. But they can make a little bit of noise. I've told them that. It's fine. They've got to heat a bottle up. Baby needs to eat. Now everyone on YouTube's probably going to hear that one though. Because I won't edit that one out. Not if it's there. Okay. So we'll just pull this part off. Maybe? There it comes. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I've got some glitter to go down here just to add a bit more color. On the stars. I think that's pretty matched up. So I will get the glitter layer on, which is the last layer. Give everything a quick once over afterwards. The glitter usually takes an extra couple of moments, so I'm just going to hold it. And I'm going to rub down everything at the same time. Make sure you always do it with the parchment paper over top. If your iron hits the decals, it will melt them. Which is a horrible mess. Horrible mess. That should be it. Should be able to just pull that right off and hot, but voila. We have, minus this one little boo-boo that I'm going to pick out of here, but we have our onesie to go into the shadow box for my grandson. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you've been able to learn something from it. Feel free to leave any comments. Take care. Happy crafting.